p.m. in Walkerton in the Indiana Girls High School State Tournament, brought to you in part by the Indiana Fever. Tonight, it's a sectional semifinal in Class 3A. The St. Joe Indians and Marian Knights renew their rivalry on the 46th game of the week. How you doing, everybody? Between my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what should be another great chapter in this rivalry between these two Catholic schools. Bob, the St. Joe Indians come in with a record of 16-8. They do have tournament pedigree in their history, and a couple of people who helped win a state title for St. Joe could be taking the court for the final time tonight.
Right. You know, Keegan Sullivan was a really important part of that state championship team, and she's done a nice job of evolving into a leader, into a player that they can count on. But she's got some help. You know, Eaststand is a veteran player, and they've also got a couple of young ladies who have come along as the season's gone along. And I'm talking in particular about Geralczyk, and also the young lady Kelly Radigan has developed into a nice player for just a sophomore.
Meanwhile, the Marian Knights come in here as the two-time defending sectional champions. Steve Scott has done a marvelous job building this program at Marian, although this year he combines some senior leadership with some very young, talented players.
You think Foster's a young, talented player? I think you're right, partner. She went over the 500-point mark the other night in the quarterfinal game, and she is a very special athlete. But I really like Heimlich as a player inside who doesn't look to do anything other than what she needs to do, and that's rebound and score. And she does that inside very well. The Rangel sisters are very quick. They give them a different look there. And then Hudgens is a veteran. Somebody was going to be counted on in this team this year to be their leading scorer until they get the great freshman that comes in. Now they've got two good scorers.
Bo Hunt will be working the sidelines as usual tonight. And Bo, I'm not going to let Bob do his Lou Holtz imitation here, but Lou used to use the line, you can't let emotion replace good judgment. And I imagine when you've got two arch rivals going tonight with the stakes so high, that's imperative.
Well, and not only that, the last time they played, it's an overtime victory. And, you know, you go into this game, in the first few minutes, don't dictate the game, but they dictate your emotions. And I think that's one of the biggest things. And we see a team like Westview, boys basketball with Rob Yoder. One of the things they do is they pass the ball 5, 6, 7 times that first possession, really get in the mood of the game and in the mode and not take that really quick early shot. So hopefully these two teams come out here, they control their emotions, get that ball, move that ball around a little bit, let your emotions settle down a little bit, and then you can start playing the game.
The winner tonight faces the Washington Panthers in Saturday's championship game. We've got a lot to talk about on our pregame show, including our Jordan Automotive Keys to Win. It comes your way next on the 46th game of the week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week. Brought to you by Interra Credit Union, South Bend Orthopedics, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, Teachers Credit Union, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technology, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, and stress-free. Welcome everybody to the Christian Sun Furniture pregame show. John Christensen graciously sponsoring tonight as we get you ready for St. Joe and Marian, and we give you our keys to win, brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. And really, it's a pair of seniors that steer the ship for this St. Joe team. They are led by Keegan Sullivan, the 5'11 senior, averaging a double-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds a game. She's headed to play at Rockhurst University with her sister Daly and Megan Urbanski, the former Marian star. She'll have the ball in her hands most of the time. When they want to go down low, they go to the other senior, Cashlyn Biffle, averaging 11 points and 6 rebounds a game. Terrific offensive rebounder who really did a number on the Knights the first time these two teams played. The key to win for Becca Goodman's team.
They need to be consistent, Chuck, and from start to finish. You don't want to be running hot and cold in a game like this. A cold snap could get you in some serious trouble. they've got to stick with the game plan, and Becker, Brzezinski, Goodman has a game plan together that she knows her team and she knows what they need to do, and they want to cut down on turnovers. And tonight, if you want to be cutting down nets throughout the weekend, you better be cutting down turnovers against these Marian Knights. Becca's in her second season, a record of 32 wins, 16 losses.
Yeah, they got a lot of great players that do their role and do their role well when and if they need it, right? So for us, it's just going to be about consistency, sticking to our game plan, and whether it's, you know, the roller coaster that goes on in the game, we just have to fight through it.
Meanwhile, for the Marian Knights, their top scorer is only a freshman. She holds the school single-season record with 501 points. Her name is Nevaeh Foster, averaging 20 points and 5 rebounds a game. She leads the team with 49 three-pointers, and she'll get a lot of help on the inside, she hopes, from Christina Heimlich, a 6'1 senior, averaging a double-double herself, 13.5 points, 10.5 rebounds per game, and oh, by the way, she'll play some defense too. She leads the team with 53 block shots. The keys to win for Steve Scott and the Knights.
They need to clean the glass tonight. They need to get on those offensive boards for great opportunities for Heimlich to put it back and score, and also to keep it to one and done for St. Joe. Good transition defense. You know, if the Indians can run, they can hurt you. If you get them in the half-court offense, it slows them down quite a bit, so they need to make sure the transition defense is good. And Marian needs to be patient in selecting their shots. They've got a lot of good scorers on this team, and if they're patient enough, they're going to find the opening and find an opportunity. Now, their head coach, Steve Scott, is in his 17th season as a head coach. He has 237 victories on his slate.
Oh, I think so. You know what? That first game hurt bad. It hurt us all bad. You know, and I don't want to take anything away from St. Joe, but I think all of us feel that we can play better.
St. Joe had plenty to cheer about with an overtime win in the regular season. Will that be the case tonight? Those have been the Jordan Automotive Keys to Win on the Christensen Furniture pregame show. The opening tip is next on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, because we live here too. Good crowd has filed down to Walkerton tonight at this gym that is officially known as TCU Gym. The locals will call it the Airy because it's a Falcon's nest, but tonight no Falcons to be seen. Indians and Knights, they're getting ready to give the starting lineup. So is Bob Nagel.
And the starting lineups for the St. Joe Indians include a veteran group and a couple of good young players. Starting at a guard is Kelly Radigan, 5'7" sophomore. She'll wear number 1. Number 2 is Cashlyn Biffle. She's a forward, 5'11" senior. She'll wear number 2. Number 11 is Keegan Sullivan, a member of the state championship team 4 years ago. She's a 5'11" senior. She'll wear number 11. Number 14 is Ann Goralczyk. She's a 6-foot senior, biggest player on the roster for St. Joe. And their other starter is a junior. She'll play at a guard, number 20, Sarah Heastan. She's 5'10" and a junior. Now for the Marian Knights, and the starting lineups for the Knights brought to you by Marian High School. Starting at a guard, the outstanding freshman, 5'8". She'll wear number 14. That's Nevaeh Foster. Number 22 is Mackenzie Hudson. She's a 5'8" junior. She'll play at a guard. Another guard is 5'4" senior Jaden Rangel. Now her sister also plays at a guard, 5'4" sophomore Peyton Rangel. And the big girl inside, number 34, Christina Heimlich, is a 6'1" senior for the Marian Knights. And again, the Marian lineups brought to you by Marian High School. We're getting ready for the opening tip of tonight's game. That is also sponsored tonight by St. Joseph High School. You see the Indians in their road blue uniforms gathering out near midcourt. The Marian Knights they're the designated home team tonight.
You take a look at the series history. We can only take you back to this century. The records that we're able to get online don't go back any further than that. But as you can see, St. Joe has dominated in the century. Marian won in the regular season last year. And then this year in the regular season, St. Joe came from behind. Mia Naman hit a three-pointer to send it into overtime, and then the Indians win it 66-63 in the extra session. The officials, as assigned tonight by the Indiana High School Athletic Association. On the left, you see John Walszewski. In the middle is Craig Falk, and on the right is Andy Heidick. And they will be working, and of course the Indiana High School Athletic Association wants you to know there is a shortage of officials, and they are looking for more people to get involved in the games. Not just basketball, but a variety of sports have officiating shortages. So if you'd like to get involved, contact your local officials association. It's taken a little while for the starting lineups to be announced because they announce all the players on both sides, which is deservedly so. There you see Becca Goodman. You may remember her as Becca Brzezinski when she played at the University of Notre Dame. Also a Wheeler grad. Played in Finland, Ukraine, and Puerto Rico before coming back to the U.S. and in her second season. On the other bench, Steve Scott. He's been around a few places. 17th year overall, his third at Marian. He has won sectionals at 3 different schools. The only other coach that's active right now that I could find that did that was Mark Johnson on the boys' side. Mark won at Dwenger, LaSalle, and Riley. The opening tip, sponsored by St. Joe High School, won by the St. Joe Indians, who come in 16-8. Their best win over Portage, 53-52. They beat Clay Wednesday night, 63-25. Keegan Sullivan with the ball to Cashlyn Biffle. Cashlyn Biffle's baseline jumper goes awry. Mackenzie Hudgen on the rebound, and here come the 20-5 Marian Knights, who have won 9 in a row by an average of 28 points per game in that streak. They beat Glenn Wednesday night, 50-28. Nevaeh Foster is traveling for the first turnover of the game. Steve Scott wanted a foul. Andy Heidick saw it otherwise.
First turnover of the ball game.
Here comes Sullivan and the Indians, who want to pick up the tempo. Sullivan inside, missed the layup, and Heimlich with the rebound. Mackenzie Hudgen, the junior point guard of this Marian team, sets a screen for Foster. Hudgen inside, outside to Rangel. Jaden's three-pointer off the mark, but Heimlich, a big offensive rebound. Lost the handle and traveled. So 2 turnovers for the Knights early on. They're a team that typically takes care of the ball pretty well, Bob, only averaging 11.5 turnovers per game.
And they got 3 rebounds. St. Joe yet to get one.
And an early foul called, and that could be on Peyton Rangel, and it is. That is the first on the sophomore, number 24. So St. Joe with the basketball. They average 55 points a game, only give up 43.5. Sullivan off the mark on the 3, and Hudgen another rebound underneath. Now the Knights want to pick up the tempo a little bit. Heimlich will take that 3 and make that 3. Christina Heimlich, we saw her do that the other night against John Glenn. Gets the first points of the contest. That's her 30th three-pointer of the season.
And has that Bill Lambier effect. Somebody that tall shooting from the outside. What's going on?
Sullivan around a Goralczyk screen. Sullivan open for 3 and misses again. 0 for 3 on the night for Keegan Sullivan. I have the feeling that won't slow her down.
Oh, the old shooter's mentality. Shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot.
Sarah Heestand into the lane for Sullivan. The mid-range jumper is no good, and Heimlich the rebound. So a very frosty start for the Indians.
5 rebounds to 1, favoring the Marian Knights.
And that was a big point of emphasis for Steve Scott in practice yesterday. They run a little weave up top. Here's Foster. The freshman penetrates and is fouled on the way in. They'll call it on Sarah Heestand, and that's the first on the junior.
She looked like a piece of fruit going into the squeezer right there. She went right in between a couple defenders, and contact was made.
Marian running a little picket fence on the inbounds. Had Hudgen underneath, but didn't get her the ball. Rangel over to her sister. Jaden wears 23. Peyton wears 24. It's Mackenzie Hudgen to Christina Heimlich. She missed on the baseline drive. Sullivan and the Indians in a hurry. Biffle down low, had it stolen by Hudgen. Here come the Knights. Hudgen all the way, had it swatted out of bounds by Sullivan. She leads the team now with 24 block shots. Here's another look courtesy of SBO. Heimlich working on Biffle. Now Biffle comes out and they knock the ball away with Sullivan on the steal. Topside triple. No good. 0 for 5 now, and a long lead pass to Heimlich for 2. Christina Heimlich has all 5 points in the game. The Knights lead by 5. Hiestand looks for help. Terrific soccer player, kicks it outside. Kelly Radigan's 3 is short. St. Joe cannot get anything to drop early. Hudgen nearly lost the handle but pulled it outside. Now Hudgen drives and is fouled by Ann Goralczyk, and she'll go to the line for 2.
First foul on Goralczyk. You know, Chuck, the other night we were watching, obviously, very closely the play of Foster for Marian. And one of the things about Foster is she's very patient, lets the game come to her a little bit.
Free throws are sponsored by CB Custom Painting. This is a pretty good foul shooting Marian team. Hudgen is 69% shooter on the year, but she couldn't make that one. The second is home, and it's a 6-0 Marian lead. And full court pressure applied by the Knights. Here comes Hiestand, giving it off to Goralczyk. Now the topside triple by Radigan is off the mark, and Heimlich the rebound. Real bad case of one and done right now for the Indians. Foster from outside. And a timeout called by St. Joe. 3:48 to go, first quarter. It's a 9-0 Marian lead. Nevaeh Foster draining her 50th three-pointer of the year on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise.
St. Joe 0 of 8 so far in the first quarter. The Marian Knights 3 out of 6, including a couple of three-pointers.
Nevaeh Foster, only a freshman, shooting 32% from beyond the arc, and she drained one from well behind the stripe that time to make it a 9-0 lead. Sullivan dribbling through the trap. Hiestand works around Rangel and drives in, fouled by Heimlich, who did not like the call.
Steve Scott didn't like it either. That's number 1 on Heimlich.
You'll get another look on the SBO replay, and from there it looked clean.
We'd like to thank Casey's here in Walkerton for providing dinner for the TV46 crew tonight. Casey's has a great selection of pizzas, subs, salads, sandwiches, appetizers, and desserts, all available for carryout 24/7. Stop by anytime to grab your favorite snack at Casey's right here in Walkerton.
Sarah Hiestand misses both free throws. She's the best foul shooter on this St. Joe team, so St. Joe in a huge drought here, and Marian taking advantage with a 9-0 lead.
And an 8-2 lead on the board so far.
Hudgen. Now it's Peyton Rangel. Cross-court Heimlich. Good patience by Marian in this possession. Heimlich for 3. Bring it up. 8 for Christina Heimlich, and it's a 12-0 Marian lead. Who will break the ice for the Indians? Can they against this 2-3 zone? Here's Radigan, now Sullivan. Their leading scorer at 17 a game will launch one from 3. That's off the mark. Heimlich couldn't control the rebound. Goralczyk no good. That's 0 for 10 for the Indians. Sullivan drives. Outside Radigan. 0 for 11 for the Indians, and here comes Marian. Hudgen all the way for 2. 14-0 Marian. Now here comes Heastand. She misses. And the ball controlled by Heimlich. And it is all falling apart for St. Joe in the early going. Reminder, the winner gets South Bend, Washington tomorrow night in the sectional championship game. Hudgen crossover dribble down the lane, fouled by Goralczyk. Her second.
Boy, Marian being patient enough on the perimeter, waiting for an opportunity to penetrate, and there it was.
St. Joe wanted to try to take that dribble drive away from Marian, but they are unable to do it. And now Mackenzie Hudgen, a 69% foul shooter on the year, goes to the stripe.
The Marian Knights, 15-0, wow. CB Custom Painting congratulates Marian on a great basketball season. Wishes them good luck in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is proud supporter of Marian High School and their athletic programs.
They sponsored the free throws there by Mackenzie Hudgen. Mia Naman checked into the game for St. Joe. She wears number 30. The Knights trying to pitch a shutout in the first. Sullivan way off the mark on that shot. Here comes Foster. Pull up 3. She is on fire, so are the Knights. Their 4th 3 of the quarter. It's 18-0. Sullivan on the run, puts it up, no good. Foster the rebound. Who saw this coming? Out of bounds to St. Joe.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Tegan Montague, a 5'10 freshman, will check into the game. Steve Scott, as competitive as they come on the sidelines, and he is pumped up with the performance of his team here in the first. Sullivan will race it across the stripe. Tried to feed Biffle, but it's knocked away by Rangel.
Boy, Rangel's, again, at 5'4". They don't give you an intimidating height, but their quickness, they're like a couple of little gnats out there to get in your way all the time.
St. Joe has had open looks. They just have not been able to get anything to drop. Sullivan spinning, driving, finally hitting. First basket of the game for St. Joe comes with 35 seconds left in the first. And now Marian will hold for the last shot, as you would expect. What a quarter for the Marian Knights. They'll send Heimlich back into the game. They ran a beautiful inbound pass for her at the end of the first half on Wednesday night to get a key basket in their victory over John Glenn. So it's Hudgen on the dribble. Foster, deep 3. That one won't go, and the rebound comes to Radigan. Sullivan will try to crank from half court. It's off the mark, and it was all Marian in the first quarter. The Knights getting 4 threes, a pair of them from Christina Heimlich, and they lead the St. Joe Indians 18-2 after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by South Bend Orthopedics, team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947. Let's go to Bo for a Bills Heating sideline report. He's got the winning coach from Game 1.
Yeah, I'm standing by with Steve Reynolds. Steve, first off, congratulations on getting the sectional championship.
Yes, I really appreciate that. Kids are working hard, and obviously we're looking forward to tomorrow.
South Bend, Washington hasn't won a sectional since 2009, the year they went to state that year, 4 years in a row. What does this team have that the last few teams lack?
Yeah, you know what? We know the history, you know, and I've been here for 6 years. The last 5 years, we've been trying to build knowing that this year was coming. And so these girls have invested. They're working hard. They love each other. And we're just going to go out there and go for it, putting in all the things that we've been working on all year, all the traveling, playing the tough teams, the tough schedule, playing #1 Northwestern, playing these two wonderful teams today. We're going to be ready.
Speaking of that, you guys got the victory earlier tonight, so you get to sit here and scout these two teams. What are some of the things you're looking for tonight?
Well, honestly, we really want to concentrate on doing what we want to do and making sure that we can do that. Other than that, we know these teams. We know the players. Some of them we've grown up with, and we've watched them a lot. So now it's just time to put in the work and make sure that we get done what we need to get done on the court.
Not many coaches get to coach their own kids. What's it like coaching your own kids?
Oh, it's been amazing. I got here 4 years before they stepped foot on campus because I wanted to make an investment in the community and at the school, and so that they would have somewhere to land. And so for them to be there right now in this moment means everything. We're a basketball family. We have, my wife and I, Marcy, have 7 children. They all play, and it's been amazing.
Hey, we really appreciate your time. Best of luck tomorrow night.
All right, thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Steve's daughters, Mila and Amia, part of that Washington team. Amia, only a freshman. You see a freshman out here, Nevaeh Foster, who got the first basket of the second quarter. The future of the game in this area, very bright, Bob.
It certainly is, Chuck. And, you know, one of the things about St. Joe's shooting in the first quarter, 1 out of 14, 7%. But probably at least half or maybe even more than that were shots that Coach Brzezinski would not have wanted them not to take. They were good shots. They're shots that they've made during the season.
Just couldn't get anything to drop. Here's a wide open shot for Heastand, and she airballs it. Battle for the loose ball on the floor. Held ball, alternating possession will go to St. Joe. 20-2 Marian here early in the second. Radigan trying to trigger the inbound. Finds Biffle underneath, but she can't get it to go over Heimlich. Hudgen driving. And now Marian will be extra patient to try to get good shots.
Nice leading and rebounding now, 15-4.
Hudgen all the way in, got the bucket in the bump. The foul on Mia Naman, and you'll get another look courtesy of SBO. Watch it again. Mackenzie Hudgen somewhat overshadowed this year by the play of Nevaeh Foster, but the junior leads the team in assists and steals, and she'll go to the line for free throws sponsored by CB Custom Painting. 6-point still for Hudgen. It's a 20-point Marian lead. Biffle inside, triple teamed, and there was some contact.
The foul's going to be called on Bethel, her first. Folks committed to faith, character, and excellence since 1953. St. Joseph High School offers unparalleled opportunities in academics, athletics, and the arts. Discover a school that is welcoming, positive, joyful, supportive, and inclusive. Discover St. Joe. Learn more at stjoehigh.com.
Goralczyk inside gets her first basket of the game. The 6-foot senior, the daughter of the principal at Michigan City High School, averaging 5 points a game. Ann's been plagued by concussion and illness problems in her senior year, but she's committed to St. Mary's. Rangel on the dribble. Now Kendall Bethel. Stolen away by Naman. Here come the Indians on the run with numbers. Radigan fouled by Hudgen. First on McKenzie, fourth on the Knights. You get another look from SBO at the steal by Mia Naman.
St. Joe really put the clamps on defensively on Marian when they found the ball in the hands of maybe some their ball handlers that aren't their top ball handler.
Naman misses the 3 off the back iron, and Foster comes the other way. She'll pull up, and that one won't go. Rebound comes down to St. Joe, very physical under the basket. Sullivan had it outside, instead decides to drive and lost the handle on it. Rangel comes the other way. Rangel went right into Naman. What will the call be? It's a foul on Mia Naman, and it'll send Rangel to the line for 2.
17 rebounds now for the Marian Knights.
And Naman did move into her on the play, so it's Peyton Rangel, only a 47% free throw shooter, taking free throws sponsored by CB Custom Painting. Keystan checks back in to take the place of Goralchik. Peyton Rangel has hit 24 three-pointers this year. Misses the free throw there. 1 out of 2 at the stripe. 23-4 in favor of the Knights. Naman steps into that 15-foot area and sends it over the rim. Now Sullivan will try to drive baseline and get it. Keegan Sullivan with 4. Named to the All-Northern Indiana Conference team today, as was Nevaeh Foster of Marian. Trinity Clinton of Penn named the MVP. Will Cody of Elkhart Central, Coach of the Year. Blue Blazers bowing out tonight to Warsaw.
Will's done a nice job there at Central.
A lot of people expecting him to be the head coach at the consolidated Elkhart High School. Midway through the second, Marian protecting the 17-point lead. Foster on the drive. The scoop layup wouldn't go, but she'll go to the line for 2 after the foul by St. Joe. I believe it's on Radigan.
Christensen Furniture is a locally owned, family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theater, and more. Christensen's Furniture, where affordability meets style.
You see Jaden Rangel check back in for Marian. Nevaeh Foster at the line with 9 points tonight. Free throw sponsored by CB Custom Painting. And this is off the mark, no good. Sullivan went up for the rebound and dribbled through the double team. Finds Naman on the baseline. She can't get it to go. Biffle the rebound, the whistle before the shot. Foul called on the floor. Foul will be called on Nevaeh Foster, her first, as you get another look at the action underneath. Well, that foul was called well before the bucket went in. Biffle foul line jumper off the mark, and the rebound comes down to Jaden Rangel. St. Joe with 3 field goals and countless attempts. Well, Bob's got to count, but I don't. Can't be shooting much better than 10%.
2 out of 10 here in the second quarter.
Here's Foster penetrating and scoring. 11 points now for Nevaeh. That's her 24th game in double figures this season in 26. Sullivan up strong, too strong. Keystan the rebound, got it to go. Well, that's what St. Joe was able to do against Marian in the first game, but it hasn't been the case tonight. Two and a half to go, first half, Bob.
5 of the rebounds that St. Joe does have tonight are on the offensive side.
Biffle got caught out of position and made the foul, but quick to help Jaden Rangel back up. It's interesting before the game, Bob, watching the two teams interact quite a bit with each other. These girls have grown up together and know each other well.
A lot of time playing ICCL basketball, and as I said, the families knowing each other really well. It's a unique situation with the Sullivans at Marian.
Jaden Rangel missed the free throw, then missed the rebound attempt. And here comes Sullivan. In case you're not sure what Bob was talking about there, Keegan Sullivan's brother, Deglin, is a freshman at Marian. As Keegan rattles that one in, she's got 6. Deglin, the first of the Sullivans to go to Marian. Her brother Greenan and her sister Daly both went to St. Joe. Still a comfortable 16-point advantage for the Knights as the ball knocked out of bounds. Heimlich was lobbying Andy Heidick for the call, even when she threw the pass.
Andy had to wait till the ball to land out of bounds before he blew the whistle. So Heimlich said, hey, how about a vote in our favor?
Heimlich getting held by Biffle there, and that's the second on Cashland. You could see the jersey being pulled there as Heimlich was trying to make her cut, so she'll go to the foul line for free throw sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Folks, it's a great time to be a Marian Knight. Marian offers 32 different dual credit classes in collaboration with local colleges and universities. Students earn college credits to begin their college careers, and parents, well, they save money on the cost of college tuition. Find out more at marianhs.org.
One of the strengths of this Marian team, they are a 69% foul shooting team. Heimlich, 79% from the stripe. Couldn't get that one to go. She has 9 points tonight. Sullivan, way deep three, way off the mark, but somehow she got her own rebound. Naman, now Radigan. Radigan will launch. Can't get it to go. Hudson, another rebound. Marian in transition, lost the handle, but got it back. Foster with the left-hand move. Missed on the layup, and the rebound to Hannah Tyler. Nice pass underneath. Heastand, though, couldn't get it to go. And here comes Marian with numbers. Peyton Rangel fell down. Mackenzie Hudson gets it back. Now Jaden Rangel's three off the mark, and it's getting a little sloppy here in the final minute of the first half. Here's Heastand on the drive, blocked by Heimlich. She rejects her 54th shot of the year, and Steve Scott will hold for one shot.
Marian with 20 rebounds in the first half. CB Custom Painting congratulates Marian on a great basketball season. Wishes the team good luck in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is a proud supporter of Marian High School and their athletic program.
Hudson in the final 10 seconds. Foster. Now Heimlich for three. Why not? Her third of a half. And the Marian Knights will go to the locker room, leading this one by a count of 30-10. Steve Scott's got to be pumped up as he heads to the locker room. But before he does, Bo Hunt will stop with Becca Goodman, the St. Joe head coach.
Becca, you guys start out 0 for 12 out there shooting. Just nothing's really going right. Good thing is you guys have another half.
Yeah, we just need to stop jacking shots and go attack the rim. We need to have ball movement. We're kind of trying to have one person be the hero, and that's whoever's taking the shot. So we just need to chill out.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, Bo, that's our Bills Heating Sideline Report. Stick around. Our halftime festivities are coming up, including our TCU student athletes. It has been all Marian in the first half. Nevaeh Foster with 11, Christina Heimlich with 12, and the Knights by 20 on 46.
Welcome back to the Falcon Nest here at John Glenn High School, where the sectional semifinals continue between St. Joe and Marian. And we have a chance to interview our student athlete of the week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. Well, from St. Joseph High School with us tonight is Sammy Sierra, and we'll be talking a little bit about Olivia Zielinski in a moment or two. She's not able to be with us tonight. She's a member of the Marian basketball team. She's out with an injury, so she wasn't able to be here for our feature tonight, but we'll talk more about her in a moment. But Sammy, first of all, congratulations on your success and being singled out as the recipient of this award.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be to represent St. Joe on this award.
You're involved in swimming at St. Joe and just a sophomore, but you're doing some great things already.
Yeah, I've been swimming all my life, so it's really new to me to swim. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's not only a swimmer, he's a golfer as well, so that's good news, and you spend a lot of time during the summer chasing the ball around.
Yeah, when I'm not swimming, yeah, I play with my dad on the weekends, and when I'm not having practice, yeah, on the golf course.
So far at St. Joe, what else are you involved with?
Just swimming, really. I don't do anything else. I'm fully time committed to my swim team.
Takes a lot of time, and you're up early in the morning and up late at night working on swimming. Talk about what's ahead for you. I know your sister ended up swimming at Purdue. You haven't made a decision yet, but you've got some plans for the future as far as college?
I don't really have any. I haven't looked at any colleges. Probably like D1 school would be pretty cool. Yeah, my sister is like going to Purdue. Yeah, she's a lot smarter than me, so yeah, that'd be pretty cool to swim in college.
That would be great, and give a shout out to the people that have had your back. I know your mom's here tonight, and that's a special group that's been supporting you.
Yeah, my mom is really supportive of me and my parents. My mom is definitely like she takes me around and gets me like food and stuff when I need it.
Well, you got to have that to keep your strength up for swimming. Congratulations on all you've done, and wish you success at St. Joe for the next couple of years and on into college. You're doing a great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Sammy Sierra from St. Joseph High School. And we mentioned that Olivia Zielinski is the winner from Marian High School. She's a member of the basketball team out with an injury right now, so she wasn't able to be with us for tonight's feature. But she wants to go on to IUPUI, and she wants to study criminal justice, and we wish her all the best with her pursuits, not only at Marian High School, but in the future. And we congratulate Olivia Zielinski and Sammy Sierra, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online to tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with some halftime stats and highlights in a moment. You're watching the sectional semifinal from John Glenn High School here on TV 46.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, and Bo Hunt back with you at the TCU Gym in Walkerton, where the Marian Knights came out electric in the first half. The St. Joe Indians came out looking about as icy as the weather on Wednesday night, and it's a 30-10 lead for Marian at the break.
Yeah, you know, Marian played really well, and I don't think St. Joe had been real disappointed with holding them to 30 in the first half. It wasn't great defense, but it wasn't awful. But St. Joe really, boy, I tell you what, they shot the ball really poorly, especially from three-point range, 0 for 16 from three-point range. And again, Marian 4 out of 7 from 3. They had some big plays.
Well, let's show you how it got to be this way, because the Knights were on fire from 3. Christina Heinlich and Nevaeh Foster taking turns draining threes. Heinlich had 2 in the first quarter. Foster has her second one here. They built a 20-2 lead. Finally, Keegan Sullivan was able to get something going. She had 6 points in the quarter, but Mackenzie Hudgen playing well. She had 6 for Marian. Anger Olczyk with the only other person to tally for St. Joe. Sullivan had the rest of the points for the Indians. Blocked by Heimlich there, and then Heimlich finishing the half with a big three-pointer. All Marian in the first half, and as Bob mentioned, the shooting stats for St. Joe kindly described as woeful.
Yeah, 16% overall from the field, and didn't hit a three-pointer, so as Becca Brzezinski Goodman said, leaving the floor, we got to quit jacking up the ball and get it inside and get some of those tough baskets inside. And that's an adjustment they're going to have to make. Marian with 21 rebounds in the first half kept St. Joe to one and done quite a bit.
And on our way out, we salute Olivia Zielinski, our student athlete from Marian, who got here a little bit late tonight, but we were able to get her on. A basketball player is sitting out with an injury, part of the French club, and also volunteers at the Little Flower Food Pantry. 30-10 Knights. That's been our halftime report here on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Time for another Bills Heating Sideline Report. Bo Hunt, what did you hear from Steve Scott coming out of the locker room?
Yeah, I just asked him, in that first half. He couldn't have started any better than that. He goes, yeah, you were right. He goes, the biggest thing was our defense. He goes, we did not want to get them many second chance opportunities, and that was the biggest things. We really got a body on somebody, got him out of the lane, and only gave him a couple second chance opportunities. He said, offensively, we're pushing the ball exactly how we want to, getting it up the floor, and we're making shots, and they're not, and we got to continue to do that in the second half, guys.
All right, Bo, thank you very much. Bill's Sideline Reports brought to you by Bill's Heating. Our proud sponsor, Weaver Consultants Group, located in Granger, Indiana, wants to wish the Marian Knights good luck tonight. Check out Weaver Consultants Group on the web at wcgrp.com to see how they can identify solutions to help you achieve your business needs.
Again, that's wcgrp.com for the Weaver Consultant Group. Time to start the third quarter here. And the Marian Knights in possession of the basketball and a big 20-point lead. Nevaeh Foster traveling, or is that a moving screen? They'll call the moving screen on Jaden Rangel. And St. Joe with work to do right here.
Well, they got to stop. Got to draw a line in the sand somewhere, get a stop and a bucket.
The game plan was to try to get everybody involved. Ann Garalczyk down on the baseline gets involved here with the jumper. She's got 4. Well, when you've got a scorer like Cashlyn Biffle, who averages 11 and hasn't scored in the first half, and might want to get her some touches as well.
St. Joe came out looking like they're really ready to play defense.
Meanwhile, fade away, but 3 by Foster. How do you defend that? She has 14 for the night. Her third 3. Stand working against this 2-3 zone of Marian. Boy, Bob, whether we do a Marian boys game or a girls game, it's a 2-3 zone. Stand down the left side, missed. Biffle couldn't get the rebound. And Rangel came away with it, but had it poked away by Stand. Sullivan topside 3 is off. Tipped around and out of bounds off Biffle. Nia Naman for Sullivan, who seems to be complaining about something with her right wrist.
Our thanks to the team from St. Andrews Products for making our crew look good. They can do the same for your school or corporation. Call them at 800-628-9922 or reach them on email at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Ball through the hands of Hudgen. It'll be St. Joe ball. Bo, you're down at the end where Keegan Sullivan is getting worked on. Can you see from your vantage point what the problem seems to be?
I think it's just they're forcing shots, just like Becca said. They're really coming out here, and anytime they get an opportunity underneath, like right there, they're either traveling, turning the ball over, and everything on the outside. They're just forcing stuff on the outside instead of getting another couple of passes. They got a lot of time, but it's starting to wear down now.
Foster stop and go move. Airball the lay-in attempt, and so St. Joe will get possession, and Sullivan will come back in. Looks like she might have a little bandage there on her pinky finger there.
One of the rare times tonight that Foster's kind of forced a shot that wasn't there, and trying to keep her team up.
She has had a spectacular shooting night from three-point range, as have the Knights in general. Here's Heastan down the lane, but couldn't get the layup on the rebound to Hutchins.
The veteran play there, used her body well to get the rebound.
Heimlich into the corner, Rangel for three. Rims out, and the rebound to Radigan. Sullivan in transition, working against Rangel. And the ball kicked by Jaden Rangel. St. Joe will keep it.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is celebrating 60 years as the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. 60 years of serving the automotive, medical, aerospace, and military and defense industries. Go to iftworldwide.com for more information. Like the teams in tonight's game, they're working toward a great finish.
Kowalczyk on the baseline gets another one. So the senior with 6, tied for the team lead in scoring tonight. But Marian's still up by 19. St. Joe just cannot cobble a run together.
Much needed additional scoring for St. Joe. They're going to need more.
Hudgen down the baseline, wrapped around to Heimlich for 2. Beautiful pass by Mackenzie Hudgen. Heimlich now with 14, but you can see why Hudgen's the assist leader on this Marian team. She dropped a dime right there.
And how unselfish is she? She came into the season thinking she might be their top scorer. Now she does everything she can to help the team.
Yeah, she scored 24 in their win over St. Joe last year. Here's Heastan down the lane for 2. Sarah now with 4. 3-sport athlete at St. Joe, runs soccer and track. Hudgen working on Sullivan, and what's the call here? It's a push-off against Keegan Sullivan.
The referee looked at Steve Scott as if to say, hey, I'll make the calls here. But he wasn't happy. Steve Scott was kind of into his backside there about the contact.
No, not Steve. Steve wouldn't do anything like that.
That's what I heard. That's just what I heard.
Sullivan nearly poked that one away. Hudgen nearly double teamed. Instead, Heimlich from the foul line misses. Naman had it taken away by Hudgen. And a timeout called by Marian. We'll take it as well. 3:40 to go in the third. It's all Marian, 35-16 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter.
And they'll be sponsoring our post-game award for the electrifying play of the game. Looking forward to that feature. Folks, Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
The Marian Knights, with a win tonight, would clinch their 3rd straight season of 21 victories. That's an unprecedented streak. In fact, the season high for victories in a year before Steve Scott got to Marian was 14. And that was by the coach that preceded him, Tyler Dendy. Speaking of 14, Nevaeh Foster missing on that one, and Steve Scott not really thrilled with the execution of the offense.
I thought maybe she should have penetrated there and got a chance to get a little bit closer shot.
Meanwhile, the Indians have found a little spot down there that Kowalczyk likes, but she couldn't hit that time. Biffle trying to get her first basket will go to the line for 2.
Kowalczyk's been really effective from that range. Missed that one. Biffle got the rebound. Folks, get back in the game with South Bend Orthopedics, team physicians for the University of Notre Dame since 1947.
Cashlyn Biffle with her first point of the game tonight, 62% foul shooter. She interns for Angelo DiCarlo over at Redeemer Radio. What a cross to bear. Rebound to Heimlich.
Marian moving toward 30 rebounds in the ball game. What a night they've had on the boards, and Chuck, that was one of our keys for them.
Foster trying to go to work on Heastand. On the double team, she drops it to Rangel, but it's taken away by Radigan. Kelly goes all the way for two. "16-point game. Can the Indians make a run here in the final 3 minutes of quarter number 3? Foster decides to pull it back outside and drop it for Heimlich. The senior, kind of a quiet leader, threw it inside, and they draw the foul on Heastand, her second.
Chuck, I was going to say, if St. Joe makes any kind of a run, and they are doing a good job right now of getting as good as they can, getting back in the game. I think Steve Scott is probably one basket away, calling a timeout, wants to make sure it doesn't get any closer than that.
Foster, again being guarded by Heastand, who has done a much better job on her here in the third quarter. Hudgen working on Sullivan, got it to go. What a drive by Mackenzie Hudgen. At the other end, Sullivan rattles out. It's been that kind of night for her. Got the rebound off the hustle from Goralczyk and put it up no good. Heimlich fouled by Sullivan.
Boy, Sullivan called on the personal foul with 2:04 left to go. Of course, Becca Goodman can't worry about her foul situation right now. Got to have her on the floor.
She only has 2 here in the third quarter. Inbounds pass and another foul on Sullivan. That's her third. But again, like you said, not sure that you can really take her out at this point. Full court pressure applied by St. Joe. Inbounds pass nearly knocked away. Instead, Foster able to dribble through traffic.
Wow, what an effort.
Bethel wide open, line drive did no good, but got the offensive rebound because nobody boxed out. Hudgen, great stop and go move, and then swatted by Sullivan.
Marian is not hesitating. They're using that same aggressive style throughout the ball game.
Second block of the game for Sullivan, but Marian has things going all its way right now as Rangel lays it up and in. Peyton with 3. And the Rangel sisters, somewhat of unsung heroes on this Marian team. They really give some solid players for Steve Scott to work with as Sullivan missed another 3. Foster comes the other way, can't get it to go. The rebound comes down to Goralczyk. All the way down is Radigan, and she's fouled that time by Rangel.
We'd like to thank Casey's here in Walkerton for providing dinner for the TV46 sports crew tonight. Casey's has a great selection of pizza, subs, salads, sandwiches, appetizers, and desserts, all available for carryout 24/7. Stop by anytime to grab your favorite snack. That's Casey's in Walkerton.
Tegan Montague in to give Heimlich a little bit of a break in the final minute 10 of the quarter. Steve Scott yelling out 5, which looks like the man-to-man for Marian, and a foul called underneath on Foster. But that's only the 4th on the Knights, and so St. Joe will have to inbound.
5'8" freshman, Nevaeh Foster.
Inbound taken away by Hudgen. Hudgen lobs it over the head, though, of her teammate Rangel. It goes out of bounds off St. Joe. It'll be Marian ball.
Rangel reminding Hudgen that she's only 5'4".
Rangel kicks it outside to Hudgen. Boy, I really think Mackenzie Hudgen doesn't get nearly enough pub for the work that she does as the point guard on this team as Foster misses it and it goes out of bounds. And as you mentioned, Bob, the fact that last year the leading scorer on this team, in fact, when Marian beat St. Joe last year in the regular season, it was Hudson who led the way with 24.
He had some big nights for the Marian Knights.
Here's Radigan for three. That's off the mark, and the rebound to Foster. 30 seconds to go in the quarter, and Steve Scott wants one shot.
CB Custom Painting congratulates Marian on a great basketball season, wishes them good luck in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is a proud supporter of Marian High School and their athletic programs.
Rangel launches a three well before Steve Scott wanted it, but Marian gets the rebound anyway. And then a whistle and a foul called on St. Joe. That one's on Radigan, her second, and Heimlich will check back into the game with 7.4 remaining.
Starting to see a little bit of that frustration, as you can imagine. The St. Joe Indians have really not cut into that Marian lead at all here in the third quarter, and 8 minutes have been sliced off of the clock.
The shooting numbers just have not been there tonight for St. Joe. Here's Hudson working on Naman with the right hand, no good, and the third quarter comes to an end. The Marian Knights appear to be just 8 minutes away from a berth in the championship game against Washington. Nevaeh Foster and Peyton Rangel have helped the Knights to a 39-19 lead after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. And for our Bill's Heating sideline report, Bo Hunt, let me ask you flat out, 20-point lead for Marian. Maybe you look ahead to tomorrow night. Who do you like in that Marian-Washington game?
I think that's going to be one heck of a game. I mean, we saw Washington. We were able to watch that whole game. The Reynolds sisters definitely have it going on. And, you know, you look at this Marian team, it's not just one person. I think the biggest thing I really like about this Marian team is they work for a shot, and it doesn't matter who's going to be open. They're confident in taking that shot. It's not just 1, 2, 3 people. All 5, 6, 7 people on that roster are able to take a good shot, and they work for a good shot as well, guys.
In case you're curious, by the way, Marian did play Washington in the regular season, and the Panthers won that game 65-57. Heastan can't hit. Biffle underneath, got the bucket in the bump. Good news here for St. Joe, Bob, is the clock stops as Biffle goes to the line to try to cut further into the margin.
St. Joe's upping their rebounding margin a little bit here in the third quarter and early in the fourth quarter.
Cashlin Biffle now with 4. And the Indians will probably have to put full court pressure on for the remainder of this one to try to force enough turnovers. Radigan trying to rattle Rangel. Here's Foster working on Heastan. That was a pass that Radigan might have been able to get to. Instead, Bethel was fouled by Radigan, her third.
Good effort continues for St. Joe, and you know they're been down by 20. Folks, St. Joseph High School is looking for the next class of leaders and difference makers. Whether you're interested in science, service, writing, or the arts, St. Joe will set you on a path to success. Committed to providing a transformative education to every student, St. Joe offers need-based scholarships to over half of its students. St. Joe promises to prepare you for the future. Learn more at stjoehigh.com.
7:13 to go in the game. Marian by 15. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. Well, St. Joe has made some headway here in the fourth. The 20-point lead quickly down to 15 in just 47 seconds. Can they keep up the pace with full court pressure here? They let the ball come into Rangel, and Rangel brings it up the sideline. Hudson And now Foster goes to work on Heastan. Foster with the left hand over to the right. That was pretty. 16 now for Nevaeh Foster. Meanwhile, Radigan into the wing. Gets that one to drop. Kelly Radigan with 4. But they can't trade baskets. They've got to get stops. And Foster has been unstoppable.
Gets bumped on the way to the basket. You know, Chuck, earlier in the season, when St. Joe was able to beat Marian, you got to look at Marian's roster and say, you know, they had some young people, including Foster, who were early, very early in their careers. And same thing against Washington. This is a much more mature team now, and they understand their roles.
Free throw sponsored by CB Custom Painting for Nevaeh Foster, but she misses the front end of a 1-and-1. St. Joe with a chance to whittle in, but they throw it away. Heimlich with the steal. Now it's Rangel up, no good, but she was fouled on the way up. Apparently by Geralchuk. You get another look on the SBO replay, and a couple of calls underneath tonight that I wouldn't necessarily agree with by looking at the replay.
Rangel makes the first. We want to remind you folks that Christensen's Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen's Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, home theater, and more. Christensen's Furniture, where affordability meets style.
Those Marian free throws, by the way, sponsored by CB Custom Painting. Cross court. Heastan needs some help. Heastan with the left hand, went off of a foot, and it's out of bounds to Marian. Sense a little bit of panic from Becca Goodman's team right now as they're trying to make things happen. But there's a ball off a foot. Here's Sullivan inside, and she's fouled by Jaden Rangel.
Turnover for Marian puts them in double figures with 10.
Well, Keegan Sullivan, a 61% free throw shooter who's headed to Rockhurst College next year, goes to the foul line.
Steve Scott talking to Hudgen and saying, look, don't try to go 1-on-3. Pass the ball, somebody's got to be open.
Sullivan hits the first. Trying to get to double figures and does, and this is as close as St. Joe has been in a while. Here's Foster coming the way to 42-28. Marian lead, and there's another steal for St. Joe. Here's Biffle all the way in and drawing the contact on Rangel, her third. And again, I can't emphasize enough, Bob, the chance for St. Joe to score with the clock stopped.
Been a factor, no question about it, Chuck. But with 5:36 left to go, nobody knows better than Steve Scott. There's plenty of time there, so he needs his team to tighten it up, and St. Joe's pressure has been outstanding.
Biffle, though, misses the first free throw.
Folks, it's a great time to be a Marian Knight. Marian offers 32 different dual credit classes in collaboration with local colleges and universities. Students earn college credits to begin their college careers, and parents save on the cost of college tuition. Find out more at Marian High School, marianhs.org.
Those are two huge misses for St. Joe. Meanwhile, Foster gets it outside to Hudgen. And Hudgen off the foot of Keegan Sullivan.
Marian working a little bit of a weave there, trying to burn clock and maybe draw some fouls on St. Joe.
The first time these two teams played, St. Joe scored 66. And when they score 55 or more, they're undefeated this year. But they're not anywhere close to that right now as Biffle is called for the foul, her third. And Marian will go back to the strike.
CB Custom Painting congratulates Marian on a great basketball season. wishing them well in tonight's game. CB Custom Painting is proud supporter of Marian High School and their athletic program.
Peyton Rangel with 5 points tonight. That's her average. The sophomore with career high 13 against Jimtown and Munster this season. And she gets them both. Big swing there. Instead of a 12-point game, lead back up to a very comfortable 16 for the Knights. Key stand, penetrates, dished it off, and Goralczyk blocked from behind by Foster. Let's see who they call the foul on. They call it on Foster. And this will be the third time tonight that I've got a disagreement, because as you see that block, there was no body contact whatsoever. It's going both ways.
Yep. Third foul called on Foster.
Meanwhile, Goralczyk only a 43% foul shooter on the year.
A lot of foul shots missed tonight by both teams.
She's a 1 out of 2, the 6-foot senior with 7 points. And here's a push foul called on Kelly Radigan. That's her 4th. So St. Joe's starting to get some folks in foul trouble here. Stan, Sullivan, and Biffle all with 3 and Radigan with 4. But they're trying to extend the game as much as possible and hoping that Marian will miss some foul shots.
Your proud sponsor, Weaver Consultants Group, located in Granger, Indiana, wants to wish the Marian Knights good luck tonight. Check out Weaver Consultants Group on the web at wcgrp.com to see how they can identify solutions to help you achieve your business needs. That's Weaver Consultants Group.
Peyton Rangel came into the game a 47% free throw shooter. She is 8 of 10 from the stripe tonight. So the scouting report, of course, would tell you, yes, that's who you want to foul, but not right now. She's draining free throws and padding the lead. Sullivan finally gets a 3 to drop. Keegan up to 13 points now for the night and 14.50 for her career. But it's still a 14-point Marian lead. And time becoming a huge enemy of the Indians. Foster putting on a ball handling clinic. Marian guards have really done a nice job tonight.
Handled the pressure for the most part.
As I say that, Rangel lost the handle, but Foster got it back, takes it all the way in, and couldn't get it to go. Rebound, Hudgens steps out of bounds. It'll be St. Joe ball.
Foster missed a close one there. It seems like Chuck, she's going to do really well at the collegiate level when they have a shot clock. Didn't have one there, could have passed it back out.
Meanwhile, St. Joe has to act like there is a shot clock here and try to make something happen. Goralczyk couldn't get it to go. Heimlich tipped it out of bounds.
Goralczyk had a good-looking shot there. Folks, St. Andrews Products has joined our team with the finest in promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and apparel.
Mia Naman outside Goralczyk. Naman's been known to hoist threes, but they go inside to Sullivan. She missed the left-hand layup, hustled back for the rebound. She'll take a 3, can't make a 3, and the rebound comes out to Rangel. Cold shooting has been the story for the Indians tonight, but a steal by Sullivan. They're not quitting. And she's fouled by Hudgens on the way in, the 3rd on McKenzie.
Rangel pleading her case to the head coach, but Jaden that time gave that one away. Folks, again, a reminder about St. Andrews Product. Call them at 800-628-9922, or you can email them at sales@standrewscorp.com. Your expectations become our standards, and our answer is always yes. Now, what's the question?
Sullivan 2 for 2 at the line tonight with 14 points. 5th all-time leading scorer at St. Joe High, just behind Nicole Konechny, who played on that state championship team. And a timeout called by Becca Goodman with 3:13 to go. St. Joe has pulled to within 12 on 46. This edition of the 46th Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. Might be a little early to canvass the votes, but might as well squeeze in a little Bills Heating sideline report here. Bo Hunt, we're looking at player of the game. My eyes, it comes down to three candidates. You've got Nevaeh Foster with 16, Christina Heimlich with 14, and Mackenzie Hudgen with 8, but a pocket full of assists. Who do you like?
Well, I think it all started in that first quarter with the big burst by Marian and the great defensive play, and I think Christina Heimlich did a great job. A couple big three-pointers that she had early on in this game.
Foul called here on Ann Gowalczyk as she blocks the shot of Kendall Bethel.
Bethel got down the floor in a hurry.
You'll get another look from our high-up camera, and there might have been a little contact with the body. Might have. Bethel, a 48% foul shooter, taking free throw sponsored by CB Custom Painting, hits the first. And the second. So some historically poor foul shooters for Marian have really gotten the job done from the stripe.
8 out of 9 in the fourth quarter.
Naman was on the stripe. It's a 2, and it misses anyway. Here's Bethel coming the other way and pulling it back outside. Tried to go underneath to Foster, somehow got her the ball, then a great feed to Heimlich for 2. And timeout called by Marian with 2:47 to go.
One thing you notice about Heimlich, when she gets a chance to score, whether it's on a rebound or a play like that, watch how quickly the ball goes up off the glass and she finishes.
Well, and the point, Bob, is she uses the glass.
What a nice play. Heimlich has been solid the whole game. And as Bo said, those three-pointers early, mighty important for this Marian cause. Get off to a great start.
Meanwhile, Biffle from the foul line connects. Cashlin with 6. But it's still a 14-point Marian lead. Hudgen, dynamite ball handler. Bethel going past Radigan. Found Rangel. But these Marian guards, awfully tough to defend. And then you've got the big girl, Heimlich, going in, couldn't get it to go. Rebound came to Marian again.
Another offensive board for the Knights.
Knights have done a much better job cleaning the glass tonight than they did the first time. Here's a ball knocked away by St. Joe and stolen. Radigan goes in on Hudgen and misses, but Biffle does not. Back to a 12-point game. Meanwhile, the other end, Heimlich is fouled on the way up by Naman. He can't believe the call. Here's another look from SBO. Tough to tell on that one. But Heimlich, who has only missed once from the stripe tonight, 79% foul shooter, has 17 tonight. Her career high came against Adams when she scored 25.
Marian has just been clutch at the line in the fourth quarter.
They have sealed the deal from the charity stripe. And now they've got a chance to go for a third straight sectional title if they can hang on to this lead. But Radigan says not so fast. Trims the lead to 11. Foster worked through a double team and now has a 4-on-2. Bethel to Heimlich for 2. That's 20 for Christina. Here's Naman. She got the bucket, no foul called. And we have a whistle and a bench warning on St. Joe. Becca Goodman was fired up about not getting a foul call after all the block shots that had been called on both sides.
Steve Scott wants to know how many timeouts St. Joe had. I'm going to go over and check that number.
3 timeouts left for both teams, and a timeout will be taken here by Marian with 1:09 to go.
Well, Marian's done a nice job at the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. We mentioned that a couple of times, but give credit to St. Joe creating those opportunities. They've been able to foul them, send them to the line, make them make the free throws, and St. Joe has scored 33 points here in the second half. Had they done that in the first half, we'd be hooked in one.
Reminder, we've got the renewal of another great rivalry on the radio tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. Matt Painter's Purdue Boilermakers, fresh off scoring 104 against Iowa the other night, go into the Assembly Hall in Bloomington and try to derail Archie Miller and the Hoosiers. Saturday at 2, your home for that great rivalry is 103.1 FM. 11-point Marian lead, as close as St. Joe has been in a long, long time. St. Joe fans wanted to travel on Marian. Bethel lost the handle, but Hudson got it back, and then is fouled by Cash Biffle.
More free throws coming up for the Marian Knights.
Actually, they call the foul on Heastam, and that's her 4th. Free throw sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Folks, for 60 years, Imagineering Finishing Technologies has been the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. They set the standard for industries including automotive, medical, aerospace, and military and defense. Go to IFT Worldwide for more information. IFT has earned national accreditation and worldwide respect. Like the teams in tonight's game, always working for a great finish.
Timeout called by St. Joe with 59.1 seconds left.
Partner, pretty excited about the change in our schedule coming up. We've gone to a game that I think is going to feature a couple of really good basketball teams. Excited about seeing Northridge again.
Well, actually, it's Northwood that we see.
I'm sorry,
next
Northwood
week
again.
in Napanee as they take on the Crimson Chargers of Elkhart Memorial. And that game will actually be for second place in the NLC because the Northridge Raiders captured the NLC title last night. So I can understand why you'd be excited to see them, but I'll be very excited to see Kyle Sears and the Chargers. They got 21 from Malachi Emmons last night. Northwood looking strong right now. Aaron Wolf's done a nice job with that team to get them to 13-4. So should be a good one next Friday night in Napanee. We hope you'll join us.
We go from the Erie to the pit.
Indeed we will. And then a couple of South Bend stops before we end the boys' regular season. Here it's a 55-43 Marian lead. They run the clock during the timeout here, so now we can tell you there's 59.1 seconds left. Interesting that Marian will just show some token full court pressure here to make the Indians bring it up the floor. Sullivan, though, drains a 3. She has 18. Becca Goodman doesn't want to use the timeout there, but St. Joe within 9 now, and they foul Rangel, who has been one of the stories here tonight, going 8 of 10 at the line.
I can't say enough about the class and the toughness of St. Joe. A lot of teams could have got on the bus about an hour ago and said, hey, it wasn't our night. St. Joe's battled all the way.
Peyton Rangel now with 9. Marian will lose Christina Heimlich and Jaden Rangel next year, and everybody else is coming back. This is a team that could be a force for a while. Radigan misses the 3. Heimlich the rebound. She could have another double-double tonight. And Marian trying to bleed the clock here for the final 26 seconds. Bethel thought about the 3 and then decided she wanted to stay in the game.
Heads up play.
Hudson is fouled by Heastam, and the Marian fans come to their feet. They know they're headed to the championship game.
Yeah, we might have one of those special moments that we see at tournament time when coaches start taking players out of the game. And we're going to be seeing Keegan Sullivan for the last time. She's had such an outstanding career at St. Joe.
The seniors are coming out. Ann Garalchik comes out. Keegan Sullivan with tears in her eyes as she comes to the St. Joe bench. She'll come out. Cash Biffle comes out as well. Hannah Tyler in. Katie Gutierrez in. Mackenzie Hudgen gets into double figures here, her 21st game in double figures this season. And the transfer from John Glenn, playing in a gym she grew up in, will play for a sectional title in this gym tomorrow night. Radigan for three, it won't go. The rebound to Foster, and it's out of bounds to Marian as it was caught out of bounds by Haley West. Just 8 seconds between Marian and victory. Tegan Montague will check back into the game. And she's going to take the place of Nevaeh Foster. Meanwhile, Christina Heimlich will come to the bench. 20-point effort for her. And she'll be talking to Bo Hunt in a matter of moments.
Foster ended up with 16 points tonight.
Hudgen is fouled by Mia Naman, and so she'll go to the line one more time for free throws sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Grace O'Hara getting ready to check in for the Marian Knights. She has 2 dorms named after her at Notre Dame.
Maddie Cerny in the game now. So everybody trying to get some kids a chance to get into a sectional game on TV. You'll see Mariah Wigfall in the game now as well. Hudgen short on that one. But you take a look at the job Steve Scott has done here, playing for their 3rd straight sectional title. They had never won one prior to Steve Scott's arrival. Hudgen misses them both, but it's a fait accompli, my friends. Radigan will launch, and this one belongs to the Marian Knights. By the final score of 58-46, they advance to the sectional championship game to take on South Bend, Washington on Saturday night. We're back with our post-game festivities, sponsored by Christensen Furniture, including our electrical workers play of the game and our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game. It's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
Back at TCU Gym in Walkerton, the Marian Knight fans celebrating a 58-46 win over St. Joe, ending the Indian season and advancing the Knights into the sectional championship game, where they'll take on the Washington Panthers tomorrow night on this very court. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel with you courtside. Very impressive performance by the Knights. They took care of business early and withheld a strong St. Joe charge down the stretch.
Give credit to the Indians. Again, a lot of teams would have warmed up the buses an hour and a half ago and said, okay, this isn't going to work out tonight. They played hard. Keegan Sullivan did a nice job, wound up near her scoring average. And they had some good moments. They made some good shots. But again, they were 0 for 16 in the first half from the three-point stripe. Needed to get the ball in down the baseline. But again, those are shots that for most of the season, St. Joe's hit their fair share of them, and they've won doing it.
Well, the pace setter early on for Marian, not only tonight, but Wednesday night in the game that we saw against John Glenn, has been Christina Heimlich, and she was our player of the game tonight, leading the Knights with 20 points. She's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Christina Heimlich. First off, 20 points tonight, just a great victory over the St. Joe squad.
Thank you.
You guys come in here, you guys get ready to go tomorrow night for your 3rd straight sectional final. What would that mean to you, being one of only 2 seniors?
It would mean everything. You know, it's never been done in school history, and we've worked so hard, and this has been our main goal all season.
You guys come in tonight, you guys got off to an incredible start in that first quarter. What was it about this team? You guys get a great start like that.
We just won it. You know, we work hard in practice, and this, like I said, this has been our main goal, and we just got really pumped, and we came ready to play.
St. Joe comes out there in the 4th quarter, really got a lot aggressive, but you guys clinched it with free throws. Just talk about that pressure you guys came under there at the end.
You know, we played in the sectional championship past 2 years, so we have experience, and we knew that this would be a lot of pressure, and we prepared ourselves well.
Hey, congratulations. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Our Player of the Game feature brought to you by our friends at IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Time now to look at our electrical workers. Local 153 electrifying play of the game. If you're going to go with Heimlich as player of the game, let's go with Nevaeh Foster on the electrifying play. She had a step back three early in the third that lit this place up.
You know, and just when you're thinking that, you know, maybe you've got some things under control and Foster gets a step back three, that's a strong young lady. She's got a good outside shot. She's got a good inside shot. She plays good defense. Special player, but certainly our electrical workers, Local 153, electrifying play of the game from Nevaeh Foster.
All right, so we have seen the Marian Knights avenge one regular season loss here tonight to get to the sectional championship game. And you heard Christina Heimlich say they've played now 3 straight this year. Will be their 3rd straight sectional championship. They get a chance to avenge another loss tomorrow night against Washington. I asked Bo the question. I'll ask you. Who are you liking that one?
Well, I kind of have to go, you know, as we talked about the St. Joe Marian matchup during the week, as a possibility, we thought maybe the coaching would make a difference. Steve Scott, 17 years as a head coach. Becca Goodman, who, you know, I love her to death, but she's only been coaching a couple of years.
Right.
I thought there were some things that maybe could have been adjusted. But, again, they miss good shots that they normally make. But Steve Scott is a veteran coach. Washington's got a young coach. They've got a lot of talent on that team. It should be a good one. I would be real surprised if Marian didn't find a way to win that one tomorrow night.
But we will see. And folks, I really encourage you, get on down here to the Airy in Walkerton tomorrow night. You're going to see a fabulous matchup between 2 teams in 3A that could make a really deep tourney run. I know the people at Northwood and Knox are saying, whoa, what about us? But Marian and Washington, a couple of really good teams from the NIC, and they'll go at it Saturday night here in Walkerton. Our thanks to our TV46 crew who made the pilgrimage down here for the 2nd straight week, led by our production manager, Dean Korsmo, and the bubbly one, Tony Beltran, pushing the buttons. Reminder, we've got another great rivalry for you on the radio on Saturday afternoon. Purdue and Indiana from Assembly Hall in Bloomington. Don Fisher has the call on 103.1 FM at 2 p.m. And then next Friday night, it's back to boys action. We go down to the Panther Pit in Napanee. Aaron Wolf's team playing very good basketball right now, but so too are Kyle Sears and the Elkhart Memorial Crimson Chargers. They'll battle for 2nd place in the Northern Lakes Conference next Friday night, 11, Saturday morning at 9. And don't forget to follow us on social media at 46 Sports. Now from our broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. Chuck Freeby, the final score, Marian 58, St. Joe 46. So long from Walkerton.